RG3 just got fired from ESPN.
Yes, because Robert Griffin III, along with Sam Ponder, have just suddenly been fired from ESPN.
What is really going on with ESPN right now? So if you haven't heard by now, both RG3 as well as Sam Ponder have both been fired from ESPN, whom both were supposed to be working in a couple of weeks' time to start off the new NFL season, by the way. Last year, ESPN laid off around 20 or so high-profile commentators as a quote-unquote cost-saving move, which still isn't working out because just over a year later, you come back and fire 2 more prominent commentators on the NFL side of your business. It just doesn't make sense. RG3 had a funny response to finding out the news about his firing, just like everybody else did at the same time, by posting this onto his Twitter.
How the hell you gonna get fired on your day off? I don't know.
It's good to see that somebody like RG3 can come out and still make, light of the situation, despite it being something that I'm pretty sure he didn't want to go down. He was somebody that definitely had a bright future at ESPN, one of the better commentators, regardless of whatever sport, ESPN covers. And when it comes to Sam Ponder, she hasn't put out anything at the time of me recording this video, but she's been at ESPN since 2011, and she's been the host of NFL Countdown since 2017, in which was coming off their best statistical season at ESPN with her as host. So how do you fire her? Now, many people are looking past the BS excuse that ESPN put out themselves as cost-cutting moves and saying that the real reason ESPN wanted to get rid of her is because she was the only woman at ESPN to stand up for men not being in women's sports, which I 100% agree with. Men should not be competing in any sport that has a woman in it. And I put that on Miss Gladys, boy. But nah, that's what people are saying is the real reason to why ESPN fired her and just included RG3 within it. They were saying that they was tired of him as well. They already demoted him from Monday Night Football and replaced him with Jordan Kelsey, the brother of Travis Kelsey. So they just figured, why not just pair him up with Sam Ponder and get both of them out of there? Now, here's the truth, right? We know that ESPN is full of ish. These aren't cost-cutting moves. You just paid Pat McAfee $100 million. You're looking to pay Stephen A. Smith $100 million. Do you really think Sam Ponder's $3 million deal and whatever deal that RG3 got, which I'm pretty sure isn't too much far off of what she has, was affecting their pockets? Nah, not at all. Because if it's so much about money, why are you paying those two $100 million and worried about little old Sam Ponder and RG3? But hear me out, right? I get why these people that want to, become a sports analyst go to these big platforms such as ESPN and FS1. These platforms are willing to pay a lot of money over a span of some years, especially if you were, somebody that's on top of your game within your field, performing at a high level. The reward is definitely a lot bigger at these bigger platforms. But we are living in a new day and age now. This isn't the early 2000s. So many of these analysts have their own platforms. And when I mean platforms, I mean they have their own YouTube channels, their own social media. You can make a lot of money by popping off on your platform alone without having to have ESPN or FS1 pay you over the span of some years. And that's if you are on top of your job. You're one of the big dogs within your field of the sport that you cover. Like, I can't even remember the last time I sat down at a TV and looked at ESPN or FS1. Any kind of sports media I consume is mainly on YouTube. If it's not something that I don't see on my timeline, whether that be on Facebook, Instagram, or even TikTok. But YouTube is the current as well as the future of all content, I believe. And a lot of these guys have already taken advantage of that. A lot of these guys already have their platforms and are thriving right now. You got the Shannon Sharps, the Marcellus Wileys, even Stephen A. Smith has his own channel and doing his own thing. But if we know that these big entities such as ESPN and Fox Sports Network are doing their talents wrong, why don't those same talents just maybe come together and create their own network? You can create your own network and have your own channels and create and do content whenever you feel. Marcellus Wiley kind of hinted at this in one of his most recent videos that he put out on YouTube just about a couple of days ago, I want to say. But will it ever be done? I'm not sure. I feel like people would probably just kind of, make their own channels and do their own content creation, covering the game game that they cover and just making the content that they want to make. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about ESPN firing Sam Ponder as well as RG3. And if you guys would watch a new network made up of these guys that's been fired over the last couple of years by ESPN and FS1. But that is all for me, and I'll catch you guys in the comments.